Is there confusion going on in your mind about the term non-speaking? Can perhaps wrap your head around the fact that someone who talks basically all the time identifies as a non-speaker. I'm about to examine the differences between the different types of non-speakers, especially those who are unreliable speakers, like myself. Even though I'm talking all the time, I would always describe myself as a non-speaker to others. You might have wondered perhaps why someone who speaks as much as I do would describe himself as such. But the reality is that speech is my deepest and most grievous disability. I believe that might be difficult for many of you to understand. So just imagine your speech kept coming out no matter what you did to try to stop it, and you didn't mean a single word that came out. I cannot stop it no matter the amount of effort I exert. The reality is that having speaking that is not congruent with what I actually want to say is hardest for me to manage. I'm a non-speaker. I talk constantly. However, it is impossible for me to communicate when my true thoughts and opinions are using speech. Having a communication partner hold a letterboard or keyboard is the only way that I am able to communicate with any intent or purpose. People who are unable to use speech as an effective means of communication are called non-speakers. There are several descriptive terms that are used to describe those who will fall under the umbrella term. I am considered an unreliable speaker, talking often, however most of it is unintended and not what I want to say. The second type of non-speaker is a minimal speaker. They often have some reliable speech, however it is not effective to communicate their deepest thoughts and opinions. There are also those who may never utter a single syllable. Others you may know who are unable to communicate effectively through speech would fall under the non-speaker umbrella as well. There really are more non-speakers than you might imagine, since some of us do use our speech to try to communicate. It tricks you into thinking we are communicating what we want. However, that is not the case in many, if not the most instances. I wish that I could stop talking, but it just comes out like there are words that must leave my mouth, or they will rage in my head until it explodes. Dealing with this is difficult. It is so tough to stop, but nearly impossible to keep inside. There are so many other people like me that have not yet found a truly effective way to communicate what they really think. The non-speaker label is really the perfect way to describe me, since speech for me really is not indicative of my thoughts. Despite the fact that an individual has speech, they may be a non-speaker as well. If they really can't communicate their deep thoughts having to do with their opinions and wishes.